We're going to go and dive in. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. We're back with another live webinar series. It's been a little while, but we're super excited to be sharing with you some really cool functionality. One of the reasons we do these is obviously to help you understand how to better utilize some of our solutions. And it's been a couple of years since we introduced the Alibi Vigilant line. And I think as we look at how that product set and that product line has grown and the reception from dealers, we're super pleased with how it's been able to help you solve your consumers' video security needs. But more importantly, when we look at what we're providing in that solution, we realize that there's some untapped functionality that our dealer partners are not using. And we're going to spend some time. It's not going to be a lot of time because this is very, very simple, but we're going to spend some time going through how to use this functionality proper in order to benefit your business and save time and money. Okay. Before we get really into the meat of it, I wanted to make sure everybody kind of has an understanding of who Alibi Security is. I'm assuming that most people are familiar with who we are. We've been in the business of serving dealer partners for over 30 years, coming up on 35 years now. As the graphic illustrates, we're proudly headquartered and do all of our centralized distribution out of Austin, Texas. We're well known for being a video security provider, but as we've changed over the years, we really feel like we're more of a technology solution provider. Beyond our traditional on-prem gear, highly reliable commercial grade cameras and recorders, we've also got a whole portfolio of new solutions that we're delivering to you and your teams to help you grow your business, from cloud-enabled technologies like Alibi Cloud VS to cloud backup capabilities and Alibi Hybrid Cloud, to some really cool cloud-based loss prevention capabilities too. So, as you get to know more about what we do and dive into our different solutions, if you ever need a demo of any of those other technology solutions, please reach out to your dedicated account manager, and they'll get you hooked up with our solution specialists to get you the right demo from the right person. Okay, but just know our main focus is on serving our dealer partners. That's really our key focus as a business entity. It's how we're set up. It's how we're resourced. And, one of the great things about how we're set up is, we've got Robby Thomas on the line today. He's our director of sales. Robby spends all day, every day, talking to our dealer partners and our sales team, right? He understands what's happening out there in the marketplace. He understands what's happening in the industry, and he understands it at a real granular level because he's dealing with you and your teams and with our teams who have direct contact with you. So when we are putting together these sessions, it's really important that we have the subject matter experts and the guys and gals who really understand your challenges and how some of our solutions can help you guys operate more effectively and more efficiently in your daily business life, right? And this is you and your techs, right? So today we're going to spend some really good time, and again, I'm the marketing guy. I'm going to be quiet here in just a second and let Robby talk to you guys about our main topic today. But before we do, if you have questions, as our dealer partners want to do, is put it in the Q&A box down at the bottom. Use the Q&A button and enter your questions there. I'll be trying to moderate and feed in Robby questions. Along the way, he's going to answer probably a lot of what pops up into your head, right? So if I think something can be easily addressed along the way, we'll address it. If not, we'll save it to the end and see if it gets covered. Okay. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Robby, and he's going to kind of jump into kind of Alibi Vigilant, kind of what that represents, and then this key functionality with cloud administration and management for Alibi Vigilant solutions. So thanks for joining us, Robby.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Before we get started, or I get started, I just want to say thank you for your time. I'm very cognizant that your time's important, and time is money. So hopefully I'll help show you a path to increase your overall profit per job. So as everyone knows, or I would assume everyone knows, we've sold Alibi Witness leading up to Alibi Vigilant. Alibi Witness we sold for over a decade, and we had several improvements in mind for Alibi Witness, but we were hesitant to make some of the changes a few years ago, mainly because everybody knew what to do everything. They, and sometimes good change is painful. As we went to become 100% NDAA compliant, that's Alibi Vigilant, we had all the upgrades that we really wanted to implement coming into 2019, 2020. We went ahead and pushed them into Alibi Vigilant. So Alibi Vigilant is a line that is on premise. It scales from 4 channels to 128 channel servers. Those same cameras, we can flash the firmware and make them pure camera to cloud. So if you're looking to learn something, but you don't want your techs to have to relearn a bunch of different things, this Vigilant goes, kind of both paths for you. Our fail rate on Alibi in general, we always strive for less than a 2% fail rate. But honestly, I was looking at a couple of our workhorse cameras, and the fail rate over the last 2 years on, say, the 5 megapixel turret, we sold thousands and thousands of them, but we've had like 14 fail out of like 10,000 of them sold, and it was 0.001, a tenth of 1% fail rate. So when we give you a 3-year warranty and we say it's commercial grade, you should be able to take that to the bank. Just a little bit about the brand that a lot of times people miss. If you want to go to the next page, Chris. One of the big changes we made coming into this is as we moved into being really 100% NDAA compliant, we wanted to give our dealers the ability to manage all of their installs, all of their locations, all of their customers from one portal, and then be able to help service it, be able to get some health monitoring notifications, be able to help their customers and help you not roll trucks. This is probably one of the most powerful things we've implemented over the last couple of years. And even some of my closest friends that I've known for a decade and a half, 2 decades, that are integrator partners, some of them still haven't caught on to this because it's just a different way of thinking about managing your business. So today I'm going to be demoing that in real time to really kind of show you the power and how you can save money by being able to manage everything from one location. And it's really, really powerful. And then there's no subscription fee on this. So unlike our competitors where they may have something similar to this, you have this annual subscription that they put on every channel. For example, it's a pure VMS. You get this on all of our Linux embedded on-prem units. So it's really powerful, saves you money, saves you time, and it'll increase your bottom line, no doubt. If you want to go to the next page. So when we say P2P, that's peer-to-peer. What that really means in kind of layman's terms is we have a server on AWS, and that server houses everybody's credentials. So when you log in or when you download Alibi Vigilant app, at the bottom it says register now. You put in your company's email and you create a password, and then it'll send you a code to verify you're not a bot, right? And you have so many seconds to approve it. After that, you now have an account on our peer-to-peer. And every one of your customers, recorders, you simply either scan the QR code or you type in the P2P access code per box, and it'll register it to your account. Now, that's really powerful, mainly because you're not opening up any ports for remote viewing. You have all of your customers in one location that you can now manage and make sure that their products are up and working and they don't have any issues. You can get notifications from us from software updates, just like Apple or Windows or Android, how it pushes to the phone app. We're able to do that when you're on the P2P account. You can get health monitoring notifications from your customer sites. so that you can know, say, maybe a hard drive has failed. And all of that is at your fingertips. You also have the ability to, let's say you have a service contract with a local grocery store where they have multiple locations, or maybe it's a convenience store or whatever. If someone quits at that company, you can go into your admin portal and just delete them out, and they no longer have access to any of those locations. Unlike our competitors, where you have to log into each box and delete them out, and you have to keep up with the passwords to each box and make sure that the ports are opened at each location. All of that's gone. All of that heartache and busy work, it's just removed out of your day. It's like it never even existed. So really, really powerful. If you want to go to the next slide. So now, with that said, I'll just kind of hop into it. So first thing you need to know is you would have already downloaded Alibi Vigilant, the mobile app, on your Android or iPhone. At the bottom, you would have clicked register now, and you would have put in your company email that's going to be your main account for your whole company and a password. And then after that, it creates an account. And you will then you can go to Chrome, Firefox. You can go to any browser, so it doesn't have to be IE. And every one of your accounts will load up here. Now, I am actually using a integrator that we've known for about 20 years, a close friend of mine. He allowed us to use him as the demo. So you can see here, in an instance, he can see who's online or offline. He can see he can create a tree, so like if they have multiple locations. Whenever he puts a device online, he asks his customers, say, download the Alibi Vigilant app, create your username. What email did you use? They'll tell you the email, and then he can share that. And then if he's doing a service contract and they leave the company, he can quickly remove them from one spot. He doesn't have to go to every location and do that. That's really, really powerful. If a customer calls in and says, I'm having a problem, you don't have to keep up with the password. He just simply clicks and it will log into it. Now, when you log into it, you can do anything that you would really need to do. So, you could go into the unit for setup, for example, and run. If they're saying they're having some kind of problem, you could look at the log file. Now, when you know that we have like 0.1% fail rate, it's usually some kind of setup issue that's in conflict if they're having problems. But you can check all that. If you want to check to see if they need an update, you can check. If it needed an update, it would show you right here. You can even go into the cameras and check to see if it needs update. Now, it also pushes this information to the phone. So in this location here, you can see that the ones in blue need an update. If you want to update all of those, you just simply you tell it to update, and it'll just start doing it. The power in this alone, not having to roll a truck, not having to go to a company's website, download each individual firmware, upload each one. If you have 30 camera install, 15 camera install, whatever, your tech is going to spend an hour or two doing that. We just did that right now, and it's doing it in seconds. Very, very powerful. So when you think about that's things that we think about. Also, on the mobile app, when you have this set up to the P2P, the alert section, all of these notifications, if you want to turn on the health notification tab on each box, it'll let you know if there's an IP conflict, if the network's going up or down, if the disk is offline, or if it's starting to fail. Think about the power of that. I cannot tell you the times I've had an integrator that I've known for a long time. He installs a job, maybe it's a $30,000 install, $50,000 install. they don't necessarily want a service contract because they don't want to have to pay the integrator ongoing money. But then 2 years later, an event happens. It's a 30-second event. The customer never went and looked at the playback, never went and made sure everything's operating, and the hard drives failed. Now they're upset at the integrator. The integrator didn't have a service contract. He didn't have any extra skin in the game on the back end to help make sure everything's, running properly. But yet he's getting blamed, because it's 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road and it doesn't work. Well, imagine being notified if they don't have a service contract. You have the health notification turned on your phone app. You start seeing the disk failing. You call the customer, Mr. Customer, this is so-and-so. I know you said you didn't want a service contract, but we're being notified from our health system that your hard drive is failing. Would you like us to come out there and service that? Our trip fee is X, product is Y. Most people want it to record. Think about that. You're proactive. You're getting ahead of it, and you're really giving a value add to your customer. And it's all because you have everything residing on our admin P2P account, or our server rather. Probably one of the biggest things I think we provide, and it's slick. I mean, it does a little push notification, and it'll keep kind of notifying you until you acknowledge it. So it's not like you can miss it. So very, very powerful, very easy to use. I mean, we had this just in simple font. You can adjust however many servers you want per page. When you share to someone, I didn't show that, but you just literally put in their email, and you can say if it's a 3-year contract or 5-year, you pick how long you want to share it to them for. Share it. Where it gets even more powerful is our CMS software, so our central management software. When we had Alibi Witness, if you had multiple locations, you had to go in and manually add each location at each computer. So if you had a customer that had 10 locations and they had 10 different users, you had to go to each user's laptop or desktop and literally enter in every single location, all the credentials, all the locations. With once you share a device to that customer, their credential that they use for their mobile app is the same credential that they use on the CMS software on the browser. And where it says cloud device, you simply just put in your credential, your username and password, and it gives you access to all of those locations. So it follows that customer around. It reduces the thrash of that customer having to wait on you, or what if they get a new laptop. All of that's gone. It's just like when you say, I bank at USAA. I log into USAA, I get to see, my homeowners, my credit card, all my accounts, and that's on my mobile app, or if it's in the browser or wherever I go, same credential, and it just gives me access to all my accounts. That's the same concept that we're applying here to help you manage your customers and make their life easy. So with that, I would love to stop and see what questions everybody has.
Yeah. So one came in, right? So, obviously the attendees are starting, I think their wheels are turning, right? They're thinking, oh man, how do I use this? This is powerful stuff. It could make my job and my tech's jobs a lot easier, right? So one of the questions is, if a customer has an existing camera DVR setup, right? They have an existing on-premise unit. What's the minimum hardware replacement that I need to take advantage of these features, right? And I think what we're talking about is, this is how I'd frame it. Witness, this doesn't apply to Witness. So if you've got an existing installed Witness solution, you're going to need to replace it with Vigilant in order to have this functionality. You just are. But then within Vigilant, Robby, was there a certain iteration as we brought on the line that this functionality kind of got turned on, or does it go all the way back to the beginning for all Vigilant systems?
Oh, it goes back for everything in Vigilant. So, we purposely chose not to bring over the witness product. With the federal government continuing to ratchet up restrictions on non-NDAA approved chips and products, we wanted to make sure that we future-proofed our dealers and protected them. So, you know, this is just Vigilant, is wholly NDAA compliant. So right now, that's all it has, you know, so it's only Vigilant. You'd have to replace the head end, you know, but you can cannibalize the hard drives if you had a witness from a couple of years ago. We use the same models.
Yeah.
So it's not uber costly. Plus,
Right.
if you factory default the witness cameras, you can just plug them right into the Vigilant and it'll take them over. If you don't want to factory default them, you need to just change the LAN address and keep up with the credential for the witness camera.
And,
so it's pretty simple.
This is the marketing guy promoting our YouTube channel. We have videos on how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No other questions, but I want to kind of roll through, kind of just summarize some of the key points, right? And I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the last one because I think it's really, really important, right? So easily get notifications and alerts when firmware's available or when there's issues with the system, right? This is the next point. Remote viewing is more secure when you're not opening ports, right? When you're using P2P. Again, our sales team, our technical support team, Robby, you know, they've been advocates of using P2P instead of opening ports just because it's more secure, right? And now with this embedded functionality in our solutions, it's even more important on why you're using P2P, because it gives you access to this functionality. The next one's interesting, right? You can, you know, provide tech support without exposing passwords, right? So that's awesome. It saves you money by reducing truck rolls. That's huge, right? We were just at ISC, and when I was talking to our dealer partners about this, the worst call you get as a dealer integrator is that customer that you've installed 2-3 years ago, and an event occurs. God forbid an event occurs, but an event occurs, and they're finally paying attention to their video security solution, right? Because they don't after you install it, and if you install it properly and it's working, they forget about it, right? Because everything's working. Oh, then an event occurs and they go back to look at it and a camera's offline or a hard drive fail and they didn't know it, right? Well, that leads right in kind of the next bullet point, which is we're giving you the ability to generate free RMR with this built-in functionality, right? You have the ability to, if you're setting this up properly and you get used to doing it on a daily basis as you're installing on-premise systems, we're giving you the ability to provide a service agreement that's easy to manage. Literally, you could sell a bazillion of these things at like $5.99 a month for just checking to make sure their cameras are online. $9.99 a month, and you look at their entire system, and literally you can take a resource in your company and have them spend minutes a day, minutes a month, looking at customer systems from a system monitoring and health perspective to ensure that their systems are working properly and generate that recurring monthly billing, right? It's just a super easy way to go out and give your customer peace of mind, right? That they've got the professionals team actually paying attention to their system on a regular basis to ensure nothing's going wrong in the event that event occurs, right? That's the worst case scenario, is when that event occurs and they call you, and to Robby's point, they want to blame you because they didn't capture the footage, right? So it's really important to think about how you would structure it, how you leverage this functionality to save money, and more importantly, turn this into a recurring monthly revenue stream. All right, we got a few other questions here as I was kind of going through that. Can you add a customer to our account by using the NVR web GUI?
Yeah, here, I'll show that.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Okay, so
And I'm gonna add on to that this because this is from the same person. And what if the customer's already registered their NVR to their own account?
Got it. So there's a host of different ways to add to your account. One of the ways is when you're standing in front of the box, you let me get to this one. You use your phone logged into your main account and you scan the QR code. Or if you want to do it from the browser, let's say you don't want, a lot of times you have different level techs doing installs, and you have your one tech, mainly he's a cable puller, and maybe he can just point the cameras. He just sends you the registration code. Then you take that registration code, you click add, you give it a name. You can pick what folder you want it on the left-hand column, and then you put that registration code in there, and then that'll add it to the account. Now, if they've already been registered to their own account and you want to kind of aggregate everything into your account, you just need to log into their box. You want to copy their registration code, but then you want to delete it. That'll delete it from its current account. You do that under the Setup tab and P2P on the Network Connectivity button, and you delete it. So you delete it, but you need to go ahead and memorize the code, and then you go back and add it to your account, and then you share it to your customer. And then their mobile app, it just flips over. You don't even really see a big difference. Let's see, is it possible to access individual camera? Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
I don't understand that one. So that's that.
Yeah, so when you go in to your box and you pick a camera, right? So if you go under setup and then under the camera tab, you'll see all your boxes, all your cameras and what ports what their LAN IP address is. You can click access. It'll actually access that unit. Now I haven't downloaded this codec, so I won't get to see the video. Oh, actually it did pop up, good. So you can see this video, and then go into setup if you wanted to look for something else. So yeah, you can get into cameras remotely. Sometimes you need to do that. What's really nice about Alibi Vigilant, and if I would love, if you think we haven't added something in, we've tried to incorporate in every CGI command to make it to where when you make the change on Alibi Vigilant, it actually is logging into the camera and doing those changes for you. So that's really what's happening at the NVR. I mean, because the NVR's topography and all, everything's edge-based. That means the camera's doing all the heavy thinking, and then the recorder is just the aggregation point for all the data being sent to it. And if we want to make a change, maybe you want to change it to variable bit rate or constant bit rate, it actually is, we're logging into that camera and making that change, so you don't have to do what I just did where you access the camera individually. And if you think we've missed something, let us know. I'm always looking for feedback, of something to get added. For example, we went in and we made it to where we could adjust for the 50 or 60 hertz because with China making a lot of the LED lighting now, we're on 60 hertz in America, but China's on 50, and so you end up getting these rolly lines, and people are having to log into the camera to make the change. And so we brought all that through. Patrick and Norman helped us bring some of that through over onto the NVR, so you had less work. You didn't have to log into anything past the recorder.
Right, you can make that change remotely, which is awesome.
What other questions? Anything?
I think that's it. Oh, nope, we got one more. Does this tie in the option to back up customer video to the cloud service Alibi offers?
Oh, yes. So, we really believe in security, and we want you to be your local security expert on everything around our industry. When you set up the P2P account and you want to do the hybrid backup where you're doing 6 months backup storage. Maybe you want one of the newer analytics like the gun detection and notification analytic that we have on the hybrid cloud. You log into when you log on to our Alibi hybrid cloud web page, you enter in your P2P credentials, and then it pulls up all your locations. Then you select the box, then you select the cameras that you wish to have backed up onto the cloud, and it does it there. So, but it's actually tying into the P2P for that. And then on the Alibi hybrid cloud, we're using Microsoft Azure as the server network for the long-term backup. So really powerful.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. I've been getting more and more questions about continuing education. We had slowed up on doing some of the continuing education really around COVID, and then the supply chain issues that just kind of kept everybody jammed up around the country. They were so busy. This year, we've noticed an uptick in that request. We have the ability to give every state their hours just about. David, I don't know what state you're in, but we can for sure get you CEU hours. Mississippi? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Robby and I will take that one. We'll work with Tabitha, who handles a lot of our certification efforts. We'll figure out how we go about doing that. It's a great question. Again, we understand you guys are committing time to spend with us on these sessions, and if they're worthwhile and helping you build your knowledge base, we would absolutely love to give you guys continuing education credits. And then Brandy says, do we have any training webinar on this equipment? I'm assuming you're talking about the Vigilant line specifically. I mean, we've got tons of videos on Alibi Vigilant in general out there. We've broken it out into a lot of the key functionality, setting up P2P, adding cameras. I mean, a lot of the basic setup and functionality, including solutions, are out there. But Robby may be able to direct you to one specifically that kind of give you a good, well-rounded view of the solutions and how to set them up from the get-go. Yeah,
for sure, Randy. We can take this offline, but I can walk you through the individual videos. So everything that we show during webinars, we always record these webinars and post them up. But moreover, we create individual videos that are very focused on the hows. How do you use CMS? Live playback, all of that. How do you set up P2P? How do you set up your mobile app? Mm-hmm. So we have all of that online, and then we do other videos that we get from integrators like yourselves, where it's like a wreck or some kind of crazy scenario that was captured on film, and we record those for our dealers as well.
I don't know. Can you see the YouTube channel on your screen, Robby?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So if you go in here, we've got a whole playlist for Alibi Vigilant, so you can see here. Right. Some of these are camera specific. Like we've got our LPR camera. We got mobile sharing, adding height to Vigilant NVRs. Again, system videos as well as product specific videos. So I'd spend a while just kind of perusing this and see what we're missing, and if there's specific content or a specific demo you're looking for, reach out to your account manager or reach out to Robby, and we'll help facilitate that. Right. Again, we're always looking for feedback from our attendees on kind of what do you want to see next, right? Because we're trying to take Robby's input, our sales team's input, our tech team's input, and go, okay, we're seeing some common threads of questions coming through that we need to address, and we think that we can do that really effectively in a webinar, right? But sometimes there may be things that you're not sure of, or you just want a little bit more in-depth training on that we can easily add to a webinar session, and away we go. We'll get it created, and we want to make sure this is valuable for you and your techs as you're investing the time to spend with us. So just let us know.
Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for that feedback, you know, whether you want us to help you improve your customer experience by having some kind of setup video that we're missing, or if you want us to help your tax and you need a different layer of a video, we would love to have that feedback. Um, it helps us get very focused. So just let us know.
Yep. So again, one last promo for the YouTube channel. Go out to YouTube, look for Alibi Security. Just look at all the videos we're producing. We've got a lot of content out there for you that should cover a lot of what you're looking for. In the interim, if you have any questions, reach out to your dedicated account manager. Let us know how we can help, right? Our commitment is in serving our dealer integrator partners and helping you guys grow. And part of that comes through technical knowledge and making sure you're as efficient as you can be, that you've got the training to share with your techs so they're efficient. Let's save some truck rolls. Let's make some extra money out there, man. We love to see our dealer partners grow and generate RMR. Everybody gets excited about that. We get excited when we can share this type of functionality that helps you generate new revenue streams. So we appreciate everybody being here today, spending some time with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our next live webinar. Thanks again, Robby. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.